Here we are on the eve of the Irish Open and the new first tee in Killarney, which has added approximately 30 yards to the hole. So it's going to be a much more interesting first tee shot this year. The bunkers on the left hand side, as you can see there in the distance, they're now 290 yards away as opposed to 260. And cutting the corner out over the tree is going to be much more difficult. So I can see a lot of players laying up here with a tree wood or a rescue short of the bunkers. And it's going to also leave a more testing second shot. We're here at the 5th hole in Killeen. And last year the rough was much lower. We're not allowed to use any fertilizer here because this is part of the national park, this golf club. So as you can see, if a ball comes into the rough here, we're literally 5 yards off the fairway. If it comes in, ball sinks down completely, and the camera comes in close to this, you can see this, that golf ball is buried. Now last year there wouldn't have been any issue with playing an 8-iron from this spot, but it's going to be extremely difficult to get the ball up onto the green with a lie like that. And I can see players certainly in positions like this having to hack out sideways with a sand wedge or a pitching wedge. We are now at one of the 3 hardest holes on the course, the famous 6th here in Killeen. This hole measures 211 yards, but that is not where the problem begins and ends. It's an extremely difficult par 3, possibly the hardest par 3 I've played in the world. I would rate it right up there with the 17th at Sawgrass. Now your big problem here is that you don't have any bailout area. You've got water short and right, and on the left hand side you've got a very steep slope where you've got to pitch back with the green running away from you. On top of that, and I think this is what confuses an awful lot of players, the tee box is quite exposed with wind and so on, and the green is sheltered. So you could be here on the tee box with a breeze coming severely from the right, and you look down and the flag isn't moving. So that adds to the confusion, particularly when you're going in with a 3 or a 4 iron. So we'll see how we get on. I'm using a number 3 iron. Now I would certainly take that shot any day of the week, Colin. That's about 20 feet right of the flag, and probably a career best for me. Yeah! Now that's the first time I've had a 2 there in a long time. Very happy with that, and I think any player would be delighted with a 2 or even a 3 in this difficult par 3. We're here at the 10th hole, which is a par 3, and in my view probably the most beautiful golf hole on the course. It's 170 yards. As you can see, there's a lake short and left, so on the left hand side you've got a lake, and then the front as well. So there is a slight bailout on the right, but the huge problem with this hole is that we're very sheltered here on the tee box, but the green is completely exposed. At the far side you've got Lochleen, and from the right also. So you could be standing here and it feels very, very calm, and the flag can be blowing all over the place. So it adds a little seed of doubt into the player's mind with regard to club selection and the direction that they've got to hit the shot. Here we are at the 11th hole in Killeen, statistically the hardest hole at the tournament last year in the Irish Open. Normally for the members this place is a par 5, but it's a par 4 for the pros. So it's an extremely difficult hole. It's long, it's very straight, and I think that's the difficulty off the tee. It's quite a straight hole, so you have to hit the fairway. If you miss it on the right hand side, you're blocked off with the trees. If you miss the fairway on the left hand side, you've got to bend your second shot out of the rough, and it's very, very difficult to do it. So it's very important to hit the fairway here. So we're going to have a go at this and see how we get on. We will try and play the golf course under tournament conditions. See what happens. Okay, so we're up the middle of the fairway anyway, so we've half of the job done. But I'm still a long way back because there's a slight breeze into us today. Okay, so my tee shot has arrived up here on the right hand side of the fairway. Very happy with it. Hit it 280 yards off the tee. Now I've got 190 to the front edge of the green and about 205 to the pin. Now I suppose this is a hole where a lot of players are going to go in with rescues. I don't use a rescue myself, I use a 3 iron, but it's possibly more suited to rescue this shot. Now the players will have to decide at the start of the week, even though Killeen wouldn't be the longest of golf courses, what setup of clubs to put into the bag. Should they use a rescue? Should they use a 5-wood and so on? But I'm going to go here with a 3 iron. Okay, so that ball is just trickled onto the front left edge of the green, about 25 feet left of the flag, so we're happy with that one again. I've been fortunate enough to hit the 11th green here, which is not an easy task normally because it's a very narrow, long green. It's normally a par 5 for the members, so the green really wasn't designed for par 4 play. A lot of players will miss it on the left or right, and you could end up here on a downslope where you've been left with an extremely difficult chip into the green. Very difficult to flop it up because the green is narrow from this side. So a lot of players, what they're going to try and do is they're going to try and bump it into the bank like that. Sometimes if it doesn't make it, it is held there, but it can come back down as well, and you're still left with a tricky chip. From here in 2 shots, I've got a 25-footer for a birdie, slightly left edge. We'll try and start the ball at just left edge of the hole. This would be a welcome bonus if we could get this in the tournament. Okay, so just didn't give it enough, but players would be very happy to get out of here with a 4, because as I say, normally for the members this is a par 5. We're here at the 18th hole in Killeen, the last hole for the Irish Open. A fantastic par 4, measures 439 yards, but that doesn't tell the full story. As you will see here, up on the left hand side there is a lake running all the way up on the left hand side, and on the right hand side of the fairway we've got 3 strategically placed bunkers. A lot of the players last year laid up short of the bunkers with a rescue or a tree wood. Some of the longer hitters tried to fire the ball at the left edge of the right hand bunker to avoid the water. But we had a number of doubles and a triple bogey here, so it was one of the 3 hardest holes on the golf course. In the last round, last hole, Ross Fisher made it look easy because he had a 2-shot lead. He played a 4-iron off the tee and played a 6-iron for his second shot. But if he was tied for the lead, or 1 shot ahead, 1 shot behind, he wouldn't have been able to do that. He would have had to take on the shot a little bit more. What I would like to see in the 2011 Open is the normal breeze which comes into the players off the tee here and maybe would force them to use a driver. Then it would really play to its full tested capabilities. So if you've managed to negotiate your way onto the fairway here at the 18th, as you can see on the eve of the tournament, the excitement is building, they're getting the course ready, all of the grandstands are up, you're left with a daunting second shot. Probably going to be going in here with a 7-iron with water left, bunker on the right, and if you overshoot the green there is out of bounds there, and we've seen a number of players put the ball out of bounds last year. So you've got to be very, very precise with this. So when the players are under pressure here, the main thing is to do here is to hit the green, give yourself a chance of a birdie, finish with a safe par. We're here on the 18th green on the eve of the Irish Open. Fantastic setting, amphitheatre with stands all around, and the pressure is really going to be on the players here, particularly on the weekend. We've got 4 great pin positions here, 2 at the front, 1 just in over the bunker, 1 here just over the water. Now I'm going to roll this ball, and you will see the green is fast today, but it's going to get much quicker over the next few days. I roll the ball here. You can see there the way it races down the hill. So players have got a good chance of a birdie here, but at the same time, with the pressure and the excitement of the tournament, it's going to be difficult, and what would appear like an easy putt will be much more difficult and will be magnified because of the pressure of the situation. The back pin here is a testing pin also on the back left, and we've seen a few players here last year overshooting the green and ending up out of bounds. So players have got to be very careful with their approach in here as well. Now I think it's going to be a fantastic tournament, a great amphitheatre to finish with, and hopefully it will come down to this last green where a player may have to get a 20-footer for a birdie to win or tie for a playoff here.